What's going on, people? And welcome back to Total Oz Spurs. It's been a while. We've been not hiatus, but we've been kind of letting the World Cup go on as we've been working behind the scenes for future content for when we come back. But before we start that, Delane, bro, how are you?
Yeah, good. Yeah. Obviously, World Cup's kicked off now, so we're all pretty much, try and get around all the games. And yeah, look, it's a very interesting World Cup, I should say. It's very interesting.
Yeah, well, a lot of upsets actually. Quite, and it's a bit of a surprise. I dipped tournament winners, and they've lost their first game. So
Yeah.
what we're going to do today, guys, is kind of just give a Spurs World Cup roundup, basically. So we go over the games where Spurs players are involved, put our input on what we saw, and then carry on with that, and any other things that we can think of for the future games. The second round starts tonight, actually, in about half an hour. I'm
Mm.
pretty sure it's Ecuador versus no, it's Wales versus
Wales.
France. So Davies
Mm.
is up in about half an hour for us, but this video will come out just after kickoff. So let's start off at the start of the week. The first Spurs representative was Harry Kane. England 6, Iran 2.
Mm.
Harry Kane didn't get on the score sheet, funny enough. 6 goals scored, and no Harry Kane on the score sheet, but he was pivotal he got 2 assists.
Mm-hmm.
And what I really saw was his sharpness for I think his first assist for Sterling. He did a quick half stop
Mm.
step, burst a little bit of his speed, and whipped the ball right into Sterling. And for me, that's what
Yeah.
I want to see Kane and Son doing again. But what were your
Yeah.
thoughts on Kane's performance?
No, look, he does well for England. Obviously, I think he did, as you were saying before, he did really well controlling that ball. Did a nice whip into Sterling, and Sterling did well to control that. Like,
Yeah, got a props to Sterling outside of the boot
yeah,
too.
that was coming in hard too. It came in real hard. So look, give props to that. Um, just as you mentioned, Kane. Look, did Dyer play that game? Or he didn't play
Nah,
that
Dyer was
much?
on the bench. He didn't play at all. He
Okay.
was on the bench.
Okay. I thought he jumped
Oh,
on, but
sorry, no, he did come on. He did get it, but it was nothing noteworthy. He got subbed on towards the end with Maguire.
yeah. Yeah, no, well, there you go. Well, pretty much, yeah. He didn't really show much for the time he came on, but no, look, I think Kane just needs to do that, just do those kind of things when he comes to play for Tottenham. So, just give that bit more to creativity for Son to get behind or Kulu. So, but no, look, give props to Kane. I think he did really well in the England squad.
Yeah, so did I. And then the next
Mm.
game that involved one of our boys and one of our older boys was Wales. So Rodon and Davies um, for us. And they both actually no, yeah, they both started. So Davies was playing. Look, the way they've set this up is he's playing in the midfield, but I'm pretty sure he's playing with the back three. So Rodon Davies started for Wales. They drew 1-1 with USA, and Gareth Wales, as the
Yeah,
expression would
Wales.
say, Gareth Wales sealed them the
Yes.
draw. First World Cup goal for Wales
Yes.
by Gareth Bale. It had to be him. But
Yeah.
touch on Davies. He had a great header, a great opportunity, and it was unfortunate not to
Mm.
go in. Um, not much of Rodon. I think USA were all over Wales for the majority of that game.
Yeah.
Um, USA are starting to really develop their international men's team. You could see, Sergio Dest. Is it Sergio or Sergi Dest? I can't remember what his actual pronunciation.
Yeah. It's very
You
hard.
got
Very hard name.
you got Pulisic, you got McKennie, you got Aronson, you got Tyler Adams in the midfield from Leeds.
Leeds.
They
Yeah.
got some good
Good talent
players.
coming through. Definitely got
Um,
some good talent.
did you have any notes on that game? Because apart from that Davies header, I thought the defense did okay, but USA were running them ragged with their pace, getting in behind. Rodon and Davies aren't that fast. Um,
Nah, look, yeah. Touch on Davies. Yeah, look, to me, I thought he was going to get that header in. Like, every just in those kind of situations, you think he's going to get it in because he's good. From his last years, he's been playing when he gets the ball crossed into him. He does get those headers in, but yeah, it's unfortunate he missed that one. Right on, yeah. Look, he pretty much Yeah, it's really hard to say on Rodon at the moment. Like he's still trying to develop himself into the player. But look, hopefully tonight, obviously they play tonight. Hopefully he can step up again, and both of them step up, so they can prove themselves a bit more. So look, now look, props to Davies, just missed the opportunity, but look, time to move on to the next game, which is tonight. So yeah.
Yeah, so on that note, our next game comes to Argentina versus Saudi, and this is one of the tournament upsets that I was talking about at the start. I actually dubbed Argentina to possibly be in the final or win it. Them and Brazil. Christian Romero had a shocker. Was at fault for the first goal, I'm pretty sure. He was at fault for one of the goals, got subbed early. They looked I saw a video of half time. The Saudi coach, he's French, if I'm believed. He's taken Morocco to the World Cup, but he was losing it. And the second half that Saudi had goes to show, Messi gets on the score sheet. Everyone thought Messi scores early and Argentina going to run away with it. And Saudi Arabia proved that it's a World Cup and every team's there to win, to compete, to be the best in the world. And it sucks because Romero hasn't had a great season, and it's kind of the question that you brought it up when we talked on the weekend, and I want you to touch on this point. Why was he playing?
I thought, to be honest, we all thought he was injured. And there was a quote out there that a few people have been saying, or reports have been saying, that did he fake these injuries just so he could play World Cup? Now, to me, it kind of looks shady a bit because then I look at it like, don't get me wrong, I love Romero. I love what Romero brings to our team. He's very aggressive on the ball. He's very quick. He can control the ball. But like since that injury, it's like he's just thought, oh no, look, I want to take this injury longer so then I can play World Cup. So to me, yeah, look, he had a shocker, but I just think he pretty much faked the injury to say he could play World Cup. But it could be different situation. It could be no, look, he was really injured, and so he.
I think there was an injury, but I don't think your point is invalid. I do think that a lot of these players, especially someone like Romero, he's 23 years old. He's still a bit young. He's playing in a great Argentina team at the moment. You got the likes of Martinez, Messi, Lautaro Martinez. You got, who else they got? I actually can't remember the Argentina team. You've still got Di Maria. You got De Paul. Emi Martinez in goal, like Dybala. You've got all these players that are great players, and they have a really good team, and they were undefeated. I think they went on like a 24 undefeated game run, even beating Brazil in the Copa del Rey? No, the Copa del Rey. It's
Copa America.
Sorry, Copa del Rey is fucking Spanish.
Yeah.
So it's the question has to be asked: Did he just taper off so he can make sure he was fit for the World Cup because he knew he had a niggling injury? And that's the thing that you pointed out on, and we talked about when we went to the Everton game, which we're going to try and find the clip of us boys representing Spurs at the Everton game. It was Everton versus Western Sydney Wanderers. We made sure we sat front row. We made sure we were wearing our Spurs shirts. I'm going to try and get that clip. I'm going to add it into an intro. But it's disheartening to think that, and the fact that he started for Argentina when he wasn't starting for us a week ago, it's kind of it's not the best look on him. And if that's the case, I want players committed to the team. And the thing is, I know national pride. As I've always said, being an Englishman living in Australia, a national pride is a lot more prevalent. A lot more people cherish playing for their country. It's an honor,
especially South American people like
South
Brazil.
American.
They rule hard to the country. So
look,
I understand.
I understand it, but you made a good point in saying that if that's the case, then that's piss poor from Romero. But slapped him in the face, didn't it? Got pulled off. Was at fault for one of the goals, and they lost.
Yep.
So that's going to be they're going to have a tough asking to get out of that.
100%.
But moving on, we don't want to go too long. Denmark 0, Tunisia 0. Højbjerg had an average game. Denmark had an average game. I expected them to win this, but they're gonna they're going to have to pull it out next game because they've got France. They got Hugo next, so they're going to have to pull it out. But they have beaten them twice already in the last year or so. So they've got a good record against France, even though France are rated higher on the ladder.
Yeah.
But there's not much really to say about Højbjerg. But what do you got to say?
No, yeah, there's really not much to say about Højbjerg, but I'd like to give a real shout out to Christian Eriksen. From his last after a cardiac arrest, playing for his last international, or was it Euro Nations? Yeah.
It was the European Championships.
Yeah.
He has played a couple of tests or a couple of friendlies, as they say, and Nations League games. But coming into the big stage, World Cup stage,
it's really big for him. It's good to see him back on the field again. After that kind of situation, and look, I know he's an ex-Spurs player. He's at Man United at the moment, but ex-Spurs player or not, man, like you gotta get props to that guy. For getting back on the field and doing what he loves. So
that's a good shout out. As much as we sit there and we wish he was with us, it's great to see that he's back to his best. So there's not really much to say about the game. 0-0. Højbjerg, they should have done better. Højbjerg played okay. But moving on to France. France 4, Australia 1, which is great to see for me. All the Aussies talking it up like they beat us in a friendly.
100%.
They beat us in, was it 2006 or something, and a friendly 3-1, and they've been talking about it ever since. It's great to see France put them to the sword, but got to give it to the Aussies. They did really well. The first 20, 25 minutes, they got a goal, and I feel like Harry Kewell was commentating that game, and he said that Australia need to attack more, need to put pressure hard at the pitch, and the thing is they allowed France to just get back into the game. France, there's so many times in that first half where they gave the ball away, and Australia just wanted to let rip at goal because I honestly think they thought they didn't have a chance of getting through, so if we get the ball in a space, we'll just hit it. But Lloris looked suspect. There was a header or a shot after the first goal that Australia had, and it came off the post, and he did what he always does. And as you would say, it's statue, bro. Like statue. He stood there, and I thought that was a goal. So I was gonna say he was gonna get ripped. But they won 4-1.
They won 4-1, but still, like, you guys got to do better in those kind of situations, man. Especially if we an average game, but in your international for your country, like, you got to do better, man. Come on, like, I know. Look, everyone's got to talk about his age and all that stuff, but to us, he's still elite. He's still a elite goalkeeper, but he makes mistakes, and it's costing them. So. Yeah, look, not much else to say about France. Like they went out they played their game against Australia, and they come in with the win.
Yeah, well, we'll move on to the next one. Croatia and Morocco, 0-0. I thought Croatia should have won that, and Modric, ex-Spurs boy, had a lot of shots and didn't hit any on target. Perisic played left wing. He had an okay game. He didn't shine. He had one of those games that he has for us. He's there. He does his job well, but he didn't provide the best service that he could have. I do think Modric did really badly on his shots. I mean, they were outside of the 18-yard box, but he could have done a bit better.
Yeah, 100%. He could have done a bit better, man. A lot better.
Just wanted to double check because we might have missed one person playing. I'm trying to go in order of.
Don't think we had anyone who's Polish, German.
Oh, I thought Papa Sarr played, but he didn't play for Senegal. So Sarr is at the World Cup, but it was for Senegal. They went down to 2-0. So next for us would actually be the boys that played against each other. So Son Heung-min and Rodrigo Bentancur, 0-0. It was a good game. Uruguay.
It was a cracking game.
South Korea, but Son has a few chances, and looking at him, he did a lot of step overs. He took on a lot of people, and he was whipping the balls and had a couple of shots. So, from what I'm seeing in that free role that Korea have him, because he was a lone striker, but he was drifting around the front three
Mm.
positions, and he looked like he was getting back to his best. I'm hoping he has a good World Cup because I want him to come back into the Brentford game on
And
Boxing Day
fire.
firing. But Bentancur did what he does best as well. He cleaned up a lot of
Mm.
stuff, put a couple of good crosses in that Cavani probably should have done a bit better on the end of.
Yeah.
But what did you take from that game from those two?
No, it was good. I watched the start of it where when they were both singing their national anthems, singing their pride out for their country, and then they'll clap like they would do, just look, give handshakes to each other, and all I see is just Son and Bentacle just hug each other. They just didn't give handshakes; they just full hugging each other, which is good.
Yeah.
The Spurs connection. Those two they're pretty close now. So no, look, I think Son. Um, I'm hoping Son gets back to his best now. Like going to international now, like after that surgery. Yeah, I watched a bit of it. He was getting into space. He was doing his little step overs, doing good whips. Like I'm hoping this is the start for him to get back to his best again and come back firing for us. Bentacle, yeah, does Bentacle does what Bentacle does. He just gets in positions, feeds the ball, crosses the ball. Um, yeah, not really much to say. They both play really well, and hopefully they can continue on injury free. I hope. So then they can come back to us, and kick first game back, Brentford, get it over and done with.
Yeah, every point that you made, I agree with.
Mm.
I think we both feel the same way about Sonny. We really want him to carry this, this kind of. So look, he wasn't like carrying the team, but he looked the most threatening. He did a lot of cut-ins, a lot of step overs. He took on the defenders. He once again, and before he got his face broken, he wasn't doing that for Spurs. He wasn't taking on people. Maybe it's the break. Maybe it's the change of style. I'm not going to blame it all on formations and Conte and that because we have played to Son's strengths playing throughout front, and he hasn't really done much. So maybe it might just be the little break he had, and then the fresher like come back to the World Cup, and he has played in one of the last days of the first round, so he has had like a good week and a half rest, which we did say for both Kane and Son that they needed a rest. But Bentancur does what he always does. And we're going to go on to our last. And I'm glad he was the last game of the round because what a fucking banger. If no one
What a
knows,
goal!
Richie scored not one, but 2 goals for Brazil in their 2-0 win over Serbia. And his second goal, the absolute control. And I honestly thought the guy was breakdancing the way he fucking moved.
The way he turned. All right, we'll get into that. But his first goal, simple.
It's a poacher goal. But I will
Yeah.
say, prior to that, he wasn't doing that much, and people were calling for Jesus. A lot of people were calling for Jesus for that matter. But the thing is Jesus isn't going to be in the position that Richarlison was in. If Jesus was on the pitch when Richarlison got that first goal, he would have been sitting back providing. Richarlison was looking for that poacher. He was looking for that goal. He got in, got the rebound came in, and he was there. If that was Jesus, he wasn't getting it. But Richarlison was pretty non-existent. But that second goal, whipping from Vinicius and the control he had to bring that ball up. So as the ball came in, he tapped it and it went straight up. And the movement and the decisive movement and the way he moved his body, hand down, ready to brace himself, and the way he connected with that. I've got to say, it's got to be a goal of the bloody World Cup already. I don't think there's going to be many goals that are going to rival that. It has to be an absolute screamer from 40 yards, or it has to be a scorpion or a bicycle kick that wins the final or something. Because that goal was saucy.
It was like he has had a great start the season with us. He's had 2 goals in the Champions League for us. Like he's come on the bench, made good impact. But I think now because he's with he's playing for his country, he's playing with his heart out. He's wearing that legendary number 9 shirt, for
Yeah, the
Brazil.
Ronaldo shirt, R9. Rivaldo has worn that shirt too.
Exactly. So he's going to represent. But that second goal, I was on my feet going, what? what the hell? Where did that come from? Like that was his unbelievable control he had on that ball, and there was no way the goalkeeper was saving that. No way. And it
Well,
was just,
I want to see that at Brentford. I want to see, and the thing is that's the question: do we put Richarlison in the middle? Do we drop Kane deeper? Do we, do we go to a Kane playing in that deeper role and Richarlison playing in front of him with Kulu and Son when we need to chase a game? That's the question that needs to be asked because Richarlison looked really good in the middle when he plays in the middle for Brazil and he scores goals. He scored like
he's
9
played
goals in the last 10
he's
games or
played
something.
in the middle as well for Everton too. He's played in the middle as
So
well
it's the
playing for them.
question that
So
needs to be
it's a
asked.
question. It's a question too. But
So what
I'm
we'll do,
happy.
guys, we're gonna wrap it up though,
Mhm.
because we can't go too long, and it's about 4 minutes until Wales kick off to Iran. So Davies and Rodon, I think, are starting that game again. Rodon and Davies and Gareth Bale, so pretty much the same team. So we'll be doing just a roundup of these rounds instead of doing every game. Work's been a lot busy for a lot of us because of close to Christmas. So we'll just do a roundup. Our next video will probably be Tuesday night, Australian time, so Tuesday during the day for any of you out there in the England land. But the matchups this week for our players is Hugo against Hoiberg, and then no one else really plays against each other. So what we'll do is we'll get those games covered. Shout out to Delane for jumping on. It's been a busy
Actually,
week for all of us.
Papa Matassa versus
Senegal.
yeah, versus Qatar.
We haven't got a Qatari player there. I'm
Nah,
saying
well,
versing each other. We haven't got a.
sorry,
Yeah. So Papa Matasar might play tonight at midnight
Yeah.
for us, and then tomorrow morning England play against USA. So I'll be watching that while I'm at work. But apart from that, bro, shout out for coming on. I appreciate it.
Cheers for having me on.
All good. If you're watching this, make sure you like and subscribe to the channel. Hit that notification button, the bell, to make sure you can see our videos. We're gonna have a lot of stuff planned for you guys when we get back. A bit of a change up in the way we have stuff designed, and I'm going to try and get some good content out there for you guys. But on that note, thank you very much for joining. Make sure you comment in your best highlights, Richarlison goal of the first round, and
Has to be Richarlison.
we'll see you next time. And as we always say here at Total War Spurs, stay Spursy.
Stay Spursy, guys.